Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's boxing channel. I'm on the ground in Canada, though I'm waiting for a connecting flight, which will take another hour, followed by another hour's drive to get home. So I've got several hours of travel ahead of me, and I've got to say that I'm feeling a little bit bagged. So with that being said, let's get straight to the Chris Eubank Jr. Connor Benn fight. I listened to it when I was down at LAX. I've subsequently managed to catch some video of it. I feel now in a position to make at least a short video to sort of put my thoughts together, as it were. First thing I'd like to say is I was wrong. I thought that this fight would not live up to the hype. I thought that what we were going to be treated to would fall far short of what we were being promised. I was wrong. And I'm very pleased to say I was wrong, because it turned out to be a much, much, much better fight than I had anticipated. And credit, I think, to both boxers who exceeded expectations individually, which led to a collective better performance than I was expecting. The other thing I'd like to say is I did predict that Chris Eubank Jr. would win on points, so I'm going to say yay, and have a small little happy dance celebration about that. Wasn't massively confident in my prediction, as you know, and it was really more hopeful than really detailed analysis. What was worrying me was the weight loss, and whether or not Chris Eubank Jr. would be able to sufficiently rehydrate to say, 70-75%. Well, he did. He re-weighed in at 169 and change, so just shy of a 10-pound rehydration. And when the fight started, I was concerned that he was going to run out of gas. Connor Benn came out of the gate absolutely flying. And in the second, maybe it was the third, no, it was the second. In the second round, he really rocked Chris Eubank Jr. And I thought, oh my goodness, it's going to be early doors and not at all how I want to see this fight unfold. By about the halfway mark, however, I was figuring that it was maybe 4-2, or I wouldn't have argued with somebody who said 3-3, even Stevens. Then I thought that Eubank sort of found a better rhythm. He was doing the better work, but it was an absolute war. And here's where, as much as I don't like what Connor Benn has done in the past, the clomiphene in his system, I don't like the way that he's come across, his demeanor, but I'm going to give him credit. Connor Benn came to fight. He threw absolutely everything. At times it was a little industrial, but he was there to fight. He was not there to back down, and he kind of reminded me of his dad, actually, to be perfectly honest, and that's praise, right? So full marks to Connor Benn. Eubank, clearly the more skilled fighter and absolutely the bigger man. Like in the ring, he looks the bigger man. He looks like, I'm not going to say a mismatch, but he's clearly the bigger man. And he was the stronger man as well. There was times when he was, using his shoulder and getting a bit physical and whatever. But he wasn't able to wipe the floor with Connor Benn that I was expecting or hoping, because Connor Benn was just, every time I thought that Connor Benn might be put away, he got a second wind or third wind, and then there were times when I thought Eubank was going to be overcome, and Eubank dug deep, and at 35 years old on what were clearly tired legs and not fully 100% rehydrated and back to where he needs to be at, he went somewhere where only the very best go. And I don't know if he would have gone to that same place had he been in with anybody other than Connor Benn. And I don't think that Connor Benn would have gone to where he went had he been in with anybody other than Chris Eubank Jr. So it really did turn out to be a fight that I think it's a candidate for a fight of the year. As to the scores, it was 116, 112 across the board. I've no arguments with that. I thought it was actually a smidge closer, like 115, 113. But, I'm not going to quibble. The Ring AI scoring, I'd actually had it 117 to 111, which I think that was a little bit wide. The CompuBox numbers, however, do definitely favour Chris Eubank Jr. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, and I'm not in a position to better make notes. But so yes, there we go. A very pleasing result for me. A much better fight than I thought. Hat off to Connor Benn. I didn't think I'd be saying that, but I am. Something else that pleased me was that Chris Eubank Jr. was accompanied by his father. They've had this, rapprochement where they're back on good terms. I think it was great that Chris Eubank showed up. And I think it was great at the end when Chris Eubank went over and hugged with Nigel Benn, his old adversary. That was really, really good. Chris Eubank Jr. said complimentary things about Connor Benn after the fight, that he'd underestimated him. He was a tougher fighter than he had thought. I thought that was very good. And Connor Benn also said complimentary things about Chris Eubank Jr., including wishing him a speedy recovery. Apparently, Chris Eubank Jr. has gone to seek some medical treatment, may or may not have a broken jaw. I do not know if that has been confirmed yet. So that's my take on it. Much better fight than anticipated. The right man won, in my view. And I think both fighters conducted themselves in a way that reflects credit both on their fathers and on themselves and on the whole legacy and lineage thing. I'm not normally a fan of rematches, but this is a case where I would say, yes, I would welcome a rematch, and I think it would also be a very popular fight. There was enough in it to say it could have gone another way, kind of thing. I don't know where they go from now. Connor Benn is talking about dropping back down in weight and maybe competing for a WBC world title. I don't know what Chris Eubank Jr.'s plans are, but for now I would imagine they both need a bloody good rest, which, to be perfectly honest, I feel like a good rest as well. It's been an awfully long day. So here I am at the airport. Thankfully found a place to make this video. Now just hope the airport Wi-Fi is adequate for me to upload it before I go to my other gate and get on my flight. James is on the channel tomorrow, which will be awesome. I haven't spoken to James for a couple of weeks. And he, of course, will be absolutely ecstatic that Chris Eubank Jr. won. He is very much not a fan of Connor Benn. And so he and I should have a good laugh and a good chat. So please tune in for that tomorrow afternoon. And by then I'll have also had a good chance to look at the fight in more detail and be more informed than I am right now. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And wherever you are in the world, or if you're traveling even, have a great night and safe travels. Whatever you're doing, have fun. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.